Alright, hello there. Welcome to something a little bit different. I'm doing a top 10 video. Top 10 breads. No, wait, no. Top 10 Crash Team Racing Nitro fueled tracks or circuits, whatever you want to call them. So I'm going to do the top 10 from all of the courses available in the game. That's all the CTR tracks, all the Crash Nitro Kart tracks, and all of the tracks they're bringing in themselves, which includes currently Twilight Tour, and the other ones are not yet available, although Prehistoric Playground looks really good from what I've seen. That might make it in my top 10 in the future, but I can't rank it yet because I've not played it. I've played a lot of this game over the last 2 weeks, and I think I'm fully qualified to have my top 10. You may have your own opinions. Everyone's allowed their opinion. Doesn't mean my opinion's wrong. Doesn't mean your opinion's wrong. People like different things. So if you have your own top 10, then it might be better than mine. How dare you? That's very naughty. But yes, let's get down to business with number 10. Number 10. So, in at number 10 is Rouge Tubes, kicking off with a CTR track. Now, to clarify how I'm ranking these, I tend to think a good track has many different properties. These include good music, good flow, in terms of corner to corner, how fun it is to play online, how fun it is to play against friends, how fast it is, and you know, all the theming and all the things going on in the background. And this is where Rouge Tubes scores highly, is the theming. I love the underwater theming, all the plant life and all the sea life going on outside. Beautiful. They've really made this track really good. It's a really fun track to play online as well. Can be frustrating because it's really quick, but it's so open, it's always very close. You rarely see someone just flying to lead on Rouge Tubes and that's it, race over. Some of the tracks online, it's basically the leader's in the lead, they've won. There is a good shortcut at the end of the track where you jump left before the skeleton. Jump across that, you will gain a lot of time. If you get an Aku Aku mask, you go straight across. Very good challenging course. Of course, part of Insanity Beach, it's usually the second track people do after Crash Cove. Some people can do it first because both tracks are open. It's just one of the all-time classics, although on the original CTR I didn't enjoy this track very much, mostly because there's no jumps. Well, there's some jumps, but there's no like boost pad jumps where you got to jump an actual gap. It's just a pretty simple figure of 8 where the track goes over parts of your track but it dips down. It's kind of really just more fun on CTR Nitro Fueled. I don't know why. It's just a really good track. Number 9. In at number 9 we have Jungle Boogie, the first CNK track in the countdown. One of the more simplistic tracks, but I actually really enjoy this one. I love the music, I love the theming. Online is always mad and crazy. I would like it to be a bit longer, which is why it's a little bit low, but there's just always so much going on. There's a nice little shortcut that most people can make. I think most people can make that little nice shortcut. Of course, this was Crunk's boss race in CNK. He is of course playable in this game, which is really cool. I love that all the CNK characters are all playable as well, because in the original CNK the boss characters were not playable, which was a big shame really. You've got people like Nash and Crunk and Geary. Lots of Geary fans out there. How's the Geary fans going? But yes, I just like jungle theming. It's just really nice and friendly and fun and energetic. Just a nice little level really, not much else to say. Number 8. In at 8 is PAPU'S Pyramid. This track is mistakenly sometimes called PAPU'S Pyramids, but there's no plural, there is just one pyramid, and it's PAPU'S, it's his home race. An awesome track this, one of my favourites from the original CTR, a track full of naughty shortcuts as well. There's at least 3, potentially 4 if you count a shortcut across the grass. Really fun shortcuts. I do enjoy a good track with shortcuts. People might know I like to cheat quite a lot. This is always a good circuit online, always very busy. The first corner and into that little tunnel section is a nightmare because literally everyone gets hit. But it's only fair. There's usually maybe one person that gets away, but this track is so dangerous for clocks and warp orbs because of the shortcuts. People will go for them. You get hit by a clock or a warp orb, you're doomed. Absolutely love the theming of this level as well. Really brought to life in Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled, and that is what this game does well. In the original it's very bleak and empty, but here there's mountains, there's a waterfall, there's trees and jungle life and plant life everywhere. It's just amazing. It's not the quickest track in the world, there's no ultimate sacred fire boost, but then that kind of is better for online. I think the tracks where there's ultimate sacred fire, you get a bigger gap between the people that are really good at the game and the people that are pretty decent. I would say the one thing that brings this down is the flow of the track isn't the best, especially the opening section with, you know, all the square corners where it's very hard to not clip a corner. And on this game I have noticed when you clip a corner you can get stuck quite easily. But still, amazing track, definitely worthy of number 8. Seven. So, in at number 7, Cortex Castle. Of course, another CTR track. I swear, there's plenty of C&K tracks. I do love them. Maybe I'm a bit nostalgia blind in that I'm favouring the CTR tracks a little bit. There's been 3 CTR tracks, only 1 C&K, but don't worry, plenty of good C&K tracks to come. I've just always loved Cortex Castle, one of the toughest courses in the game. Plenty of tight turns, plenty of tough shortcuts to do as well, and there's even an ultimate sacred fire to try and hold on. It challenges you in every single way. Every race I've done online of this course has been good. There's always plenty of battles going on. A very fun track. Be careful of the spiders, they can ruin your race. Love the theming of the castle. Of course, Cortex Castle was a big part of Crash Bandicoot 1. It's where, of course, Crash Bandicoot escaped from, and then came back, and then went, "Oi, I want my girlfriend back." And then it was like, "Yes, okay," then blew up the whole place or something. I can't remember the plot of Crash Bandicoot 1. It was something like that. It's basically like Crash just didn't really care. The only thing he cared about was like, "Oh, my girlfriend, she's got big tits. I will go save her now." Right, anyway, yes, Cortex Castle. Very good indeed. So little Easter eggs to look out for in this track. Look at the stained glasses. You'll see plenty of outfits, such as Cortex wearing the wig from Twinsanity when he dressed up as Coco. Beanox, put that skin in the game. Please, we want Cortex Coco. Silly people. Anyway, what's up next in the list? When's Brio gonna be in the game? Brio's castle. Why is it Cortex's castle? What, don't they share the castle? Do they live together? Or did they fall out and then Cortex went off with engine or something? I don't know. The story of Crash is very complicated. Number 6. So, in at number 6 is Clockwork Wumper. Now, when I first played this track, I was not a big fan, but it's grown on me, just like many of the C&K tracks are. The more you play, the more you learn, the better they get. It's as simple as that. Again, very similar kind of theming to Cortex Castle in that it's kind of castle themed, but it's much brighter and energetic, and there's so much going on all over the place. There's bells to look out for. I mean, it's called Clockwork Wumper. Clocks, bells, you know, that's the clues in the name. There's also a very good sacred fire at the end of the lap. If you can hold it, it's one of the best things in the game. Keeping around that corner with a tight brake turn, very difficult, but so satisfying. Also, an interesting thing about the C&K tracks is you can press exclamation mark boxes and they sometimes have booby traps. In this level, it opens up a floor below and you fall to your death. And I think pretty much everyone that's played this level, the first time they played the level, they hit the exclamation mark box and fell down the hole. Which can be quite hilarious. It's very fun to catch out your friends with that little trap. Just overall, a very good, tough level. Plenty of square corners, plenty of hazards to avoid. You can easily get squashed in the opening section. Just like PAPU'S Pyramids, once you go up that first ramp and to the right, you're gonna get hit more often than not. The amount of times I get hit online in that little section is roughly 99% of the time. Oh no. Great level though. What's up next? Unbelievable scenes. It's number 5. Well, this could split the audience. Either people are shouting at me, "Why the hell is this in your top 10? And I'll probably got other people going, "Why is this not number 1? It's because it's number 5. I enjoy this track a lot. Very challenging, which I can see why people might not like it. Especially online, you can get knocked off the track pretty easily. The theming is also really interesting. It's kind of turned into a casino in the sky, which is really cool. And all the hot air balloons are all holding up the track and are tethered to the track. In the original, the track was basically just magically floating in the air, which didn't really look right. Looks much more realistic, kind of realistic. It's still a track in the sky, which is just mad. But that's why I like it. It's just mad. But yes, you can easily fall off, which makes it very fun online, because the leader, no matter how good they are at the game, can just fall off, and you can just take the leads magically out of nowhere. You're like, where's the leader gone? Oh, he's fallen off. There's a couple very cool little shortcuts. One right at the end where you can jump the hairpin. The other one everyone knows, because is it really a shortcut? There's 2 paths. You jump to the right. Is that a shortcut? That's debatable. This is also debatable whether this is a top 10 track. But I wonder what's up next at number 4. Number 4. So, in at 4, Electron Avenue. This track also has grown on me a lot. It's so fast, so fun, and is one of the best circuits for Ultimate Sacred Fire because of the long boost pads. Almost anyone can hold on to Ultimate Sacred Fire, which makes it very, very good. It's a very different circuit to the C&K track because of all the anti-gravity sections been taken out of the game. There was so much anti-gravity in the Electron Avenue, there's basically a whole new circuit. They even added a whole new section, which makes it amazing. It's just such a great speedway. There's tight turns, there's just everything. You're not likely to be able to keep the ultimate circuit fire throughout the whole course because of the tight turns, which also makes it good. There are some downsides to this track. It's kind of very generic in its theming, in that it's just futuristic looking, and kind of future is kind of the least interesting. Like future cities, just I mean, it's neon and bright and purple, which can be a bit garish as well. But I just love the track. If the theming was as good as the track, it would be probably number one. But it does lose points because of that. And online can be a bit of a nuisance because it's always a leader that leads by quite a lot, and he's almost uncatchable due to how the circuit works. Music is also really good for this track, really upbeat and keeps you pumped and will keep going and going. Just a really fast and fun circuit to play. What will be in the top 3? You'll find out round about now, I reckon. Unless you click off the video. Don't do that. No, keep watching. What's in the top 3? Oh no. Number 3. So, in at 3 is Polar Pass. Of course this has to be in the top 10. Absolutely amazing track. Always liked a snow themed level because they always look beautiful. Snow is just really pretty. One of the most challenging circuits as well. Notoriously has a very, very tough right hand corner, which quite a lot of new people will fall off on. It's also got 2 shortcuts. One of them, I'm still not sure if it's official. I think it's official because I believe Oxide does take that shortcut or a similar shortcut to that one. The other one that most people know is of course Across the Wall. Still quite hard to pull off because the seals can get in the way. I do love the ice cavern that you go through before that wall. Really nice. This level also has ultimate sacred fire on the last ramp. It can be very tough to hold on, and you can easily overjump and miss that boost. Of course, there is the polar bear trapped in ice at the start of the track. It is the same polar bear that chases you in Crash Bandicoot 2, of course. I've seen people online actually able to keep that ultimate sacred fire for a whole lap. I have no idea how they manage to do it. They're just incredibly amazing at the game, and I'm only alright at the game. I'm not anything special. Penguin Yay 1. Yeah, you just said Penguin Yay 1. Woo! This can also be a really good track online, so long as you can pull off the harder shortcut. Quite often, if you can't do that shortcut, you will see people will suddenly take a lead out of nowhere. But it's a very, very tough course to keep the lead. But what will be the number 2? Number 2. In at number 2 is Deep Sea Driving. Spoiler alert, this is the best rated CNK track in my list, which means it's going to be a CTR track at number 1. Have you guessed it yet? But yes, Deep Sea Driving. Absolutely wonderful level. Amazing music, so atmospheric, so relaxing. The theming, I said with Rouge Tubes, I love underwater theming. This has it in abundance. There's a kraken near the start. That looks really cool because this used to have a lot of anti-gravity. All the tube section at the last part of the track was anti-gravity. and it makes the blades quite hard to avoid without anti-gravity. When you get through without taking any damage, it's so amazing because you can keep Ultimate Sacred Fire for the whole lap. It's one of the quickest and most fun tracks in the game. One to compare it to is Tiny Temple, although I don't really enjoy Tiny Temple as much, which is why it's not in the top 10. Sorry, Tiny Temple fans. It's one of the few tracks in which a turning character is my preferred character. I love playing as Fisherman Polar on this level. It's his new home track. I know it's Nash's track, but it should be Fisherman Polar's track, really. It's just so fun and satisfying. It's one of the tracks where you can actually catch up a leader, because the leader can easily get caught up in one of the blades, can easily get affected by a time clock or a warp orb more than the person second. I mean, I've been 10 or so seconds behind on the final lap and still come back and won. Multiple times I've managed to overtake someone in that final tunnel if they've got hit by a blade. It's just amazing. It's one of the few tracks where you can actually catch up a leader. The one problem I do have is maybe the last two blades are a bit harsh and a bit unfair, because multiple times you can get there and they're just at the wrong timing. One of the blades is in the middle, the other blade's up at the side, and there's literally almost no gap, realistically, for getting through. That's the whole fun of the level in a way. That was my number 2. Oh no, how naughty. Number 2 means poo. Anyway, yes. Before we get to the number 1, I have some honourable mentions and some dishonourable mentions. What will they be? And the all-time number 1. Yes, of course it's Engines Labs. This is the best track, in my opinion. You may have a different opinion, but yes, on the original PlayStation 1, Sewer Speedway was my favourite track, and this was my second favourite. And this has overtaken Sewer Speedway by a country mile. Sewer Speedway is just mostly broken, unfortunately. The shortcut seems to only work 50% of the time. You could do it perfectly, it just won't work. The flow of the track is way slower, it's just less fun. Engines Labs has improved a lot. The Ultimate Sacred Fire is even more powerful. The Ultimate Sacred Fire from the tunnel as well. Just amazing fun, holding on to that, dodging barrels, there's tight turns, it's just got everything, there's hazards everywhere. It's one of the funnest tracks to play online, there's no shortcuts. You might count the shortcut near the ramp at the end where you jump down to the lower ramp. I don't really count that as a shortcut, that's more of an exploit, but it doesn't really gain you much, if anything. Got amazing music. I just love The theming of Engines Labs is so industrial and wild and amazing. Just the tunnel just looks the best. It's the best looking effect in the game and I love it. The green ooze is almost so bright it could blind you. Of course, very similar theme to, of course, Crash Bandicoot 1's level, Toxic Waste. But who knows? Maybe a new level that they make will overtake Engines Labs and be my new #1. Twilight Tour is a quite good track. Didn't make either the list because there is so many courses. It's not like I actually dislike many courses at all. If you've got a different top 10, feel free to put your top 10 in the comments below. Thank you everybody for watching. This has been Classic Gamer X11 Top 10 CTR Nitro fueled levels, races, courses. Top 10 breads. And the #1 in the top 10 breads is a baguette. Stick it up your what's it. Take care and goodbye.